Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy V. We are making our way through XDeaths' horrible, horrific castle made of people. I really do think that we need a Charlton Heston line here somewhere. XDeaths' castle is people! And I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. There's going to be a lot of coughing this time around. I apologize for being late, but I've been dealing with a cold with the rest of my family, so that's kind of why I held off, but I didn't want to be super late anymore. So if it sounds to you guys like I'm coughing or I have an issue with my voice, part of that is also that I have a cough drop in my mouth to keep that minimal. So I apologize. I'm not trying to sound unprofessional, people, but I also want to be able to deliver you a weekly product. So with that, explanation aside, there we go. So we are making our way through XDeaths Castle. XDeaths Castle. It really feels like I can't say that word. Right now, and I've also got some warm water to help out. So basically, again, I apologize for not getting this out. I do also make the promise that even though this is technically last week's episode, it will still remain that. We will get a part this week also, just so that we can keep consistency going. And aside from that, while we're making our way through it, there's a little bit of business that I need to take care of. So the Rise of the Tomb Raider review came out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, you guys can go click to that video. I had a lot of good things to say about it because I think it deserves it. A lot of people have been waiting for the Star Wars rant, and it's happening. Mainly the reason I haven't done it is because I didn't want to scream any more than I absolutely had to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I didn't take it on just yet, but the rant is still on the list. And then people also wanted to know, like, concerning live streams and Blizzard stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and get these questions out of the way. No, I am not still in the Overwatch beta. In fact, the Overwatch beta as of right now has closed for updates. I am not in the beta. I got in on the beta weekend. I'm hoping that they'll bring me in when the beta reopens. It'll be more open, but that's up to them. I am also not in the Legion Alpha. So if people wanted WoW videos from me, I'm not a prominent member of the WoW community. So if I get a Legion invite, it's going to be a beta invite, and by then a lot of the bugs will be worked out. So I'll be able to show you guys a finalized product. Am I going to do something with it? Yeah, probably. I've listened to you guys, and I will do as much Blizzard content as I can. The other question that people ask are live streams coming back? Yes, they are. So here's what I think the plan is going to be. It just so happens that my Mondays have freed up again, so I may just have to move things back to Monday, do them from probably 6 to 8 p.m., so I will put up a formal video if I can, just saying this is what's going to happen. As far as my schedule is concerned, I am only going to do PC games for the moment until I can work out the details of getting console games to work. So you guys can look forward to a lot of Blizzard content, a lot of Steam content, so I'm very happy about that. I can tell you what the first one is going to be, and it is a promise that I made at BlizzCon, which is going to be the Hearthstone... what was it? League of Explorers adventure mode. We're going to do that because I actually have intentionally not done it in favor of doing it with you guys. So you guys can look forward to that, and then we'll work out some other things. I would like to be able to do a Cho'Gall deal where I can give people a Cho'Gall if they don't already have that character. But we'll see. So yes, live streaming is coming back, I believe, next week. So next Monday. Let's see, anything else I need to... Oh, also, another... So a lot of people have been actually asking for me and my wife Andrea to take on a specific Let's Play. And it's been a couple of questions as basically, why aren't you guys doing dating sims? Because that'd be really fun for a couple to do, and there are a lot of YouTube couples that do it. And so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but it's not going to happen with us. Dating sims don't have enough there for us to find it entertaining. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys. If we can find one that we think would be interesting, then maybe we'll reconsider this. But a lot of the ones that have been recommended, we're not going to take on. I know in particular one that got recommended was Honeypot. And first of all, there's plenty of other Let's Play channels that are going to give you that Let's Play. But I've looked into Honeypot and done a little bit of digging, and I've brought my stuff to Andrea, and we just basically have kind of decided, well, we have enough on our plate right now as is. We're not going to do it. It doesn't seem interesting to us. So, sorry guys. I like to do as many recommendations as I can, but sometimes we just aren't feeling it. So, that's the wrong way to put it. We just find it boring. That's the thing. You know, I get there's a puzzle game element to it and all that, but the whole premise of it is boring to us. So we're not going to take this on. Maybe, like I said, maybe if we come across one later, we'll consider doing that one. But not Honeypot. Sorry, guys. With that, have I got all my business under the... Yes, thank you. I love it. Final Fantasy has become kind of my business end of the channel. Just saying, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. People have been asking what my next review is going to be. It is Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. It actually got announced at Geek News. It's going to take a while because I've seen that the main story takes about 77 hours to complete. So people might need to be a little patient with me, but I'm going to get it out as soon as I can. I have not been able to get into it just yet, and that's just because cold. The funniest thing, when you have a cold, all you want to do is get rest. So I'm going to get to it. In fact, I believe I have plans to start tonight or tomorrow night. So that's going to happen. And that's the next review. As far as the other thing that I talk about when we're trying to make our way through dungeons is games that I've been playing. Obviously, I finished up Rise of the Tomb Raider, made my review, so you guys can see that. I also finished Infamous 2. And people wanted to know what I thought about the ending. So I'm going to set the record straight really quick. I have not done the bad ending. I did the good ending, and I was okay with it. So to all the people who wanted us to, or who wanted me to do... Whoa, excuse me. That's what happens when you have your phone on vibrate. To the people who wanted me to do like a full completionist kind of thing, I wasn't interested in doing the bad ending. I'm never interested in that. But the ending that I did experience was worth it. In fact, I love the history behind it because I guess originally the bad ending of Infamous 2 was supposed to be the canon ending. At least according to the devs. And then they noticed that a lot of people liked the good ending and got the good ending. And so at that point, they, I guess in turn, made that ending canon. Because Second Son, the next game in the series, follows it. Follows the fact that, spoiler alerts, Cole McGrath dies. But he dies for a good cause. And I actually like that concept. He went down fighting. The Cole, at least the Cole that I raised up, I don't know about you guys, was a cool guy. And so I like the fact that he did that. I like the fact that I got proven wrong about Nyx, where I thought Nyx was going to be a potential supervillain. And she actually ends up being a good person in the end. So I like that idea. I thought that was a great idea. I also love the fact that when you actually activate the the ray field inhibitor, Quo immediately becomes evil because she wants to save her life. That makes sense. You know, if all you've been working for eventually is going to kill you, you would turn. You'd go bad because you want to save your life. That makes a lot of people thought I was going to be mad about Quo's heel turn. I don't really see it as a heel turn. It makes sense. From a life perspective, I'd do the same thing. I'd want to save my life. In fact, I thought that it was even sweeter when they have that last moment and Cole and her are just like, I'm sorry, but this has to be done. And she says she understands. That's a good scene to me. So, great job, Sucker Punch. Seriously. This is the first Sucker Punch series that I have picked up, and people have recommended to me, you know, Sly Cooper, and I'm trying to think if there's another series that they do that got recommended. No, that was Insomniac. But I can already tell you, I was iffy on Sly. After playing Infamous, I'm totally in. I've already gotten my copy of the Sly Cooper collection, and I'm going to play through it somehow. I've still got a big list of games. So it's in there. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Infamous games have turned out really, really well. I love the comic book aesthetic. And I also love the fact that as an ethical hero, you can in turn get an ending turned over. Or at least as far as canon is concerned. That's a cool idea to me. So yeah, that's Infamous 2. I'm very happy I played it, and I recommend it to anybody who hasn't played it already. I think you will get enjoyment out of it, whether or not you want to... That's the other interesting part of it, is that if you don't like goody two-shoes heroes like I do, you can make your dude a brooding anti-hero. You can do it. You can play it however you want. And that's a good idea. That broadens the audience. The other people have also been asking if I'm going to take on Infamous's competition, which was a game called Prototype. And I don't think I will. Given a lot of the homework that I have done, if I do, it'll be much later. But I've been told I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did Infamous. So if it's on the list, it's going to be somewhere far down the list. So there you go. That's Infamous 2. I've also been able to play a lot of Lego City Undercover. And basically watching the story unfold there, I got to go into the mine and got to confront Rex Fury, and then in turn get a karate lesson, because apparently that's how you beat the big bad bully in these games. And I love the level for it. I also officially unlocked, what is it? Going undercover. So I don't have like a regular cop outfit anymore. I have an undercover outfit. So I can see why a lot of people said this was Lego Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it kind of is, but it's still got its charm. It's still a Lego game by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, holy crap, the villains are so bombastic and so out there. But at the same time, they kind of fit into a whole buddy cop aesthetic. I also love that all the detectives at the police station are just stereotypes. You know, you have your Dirty Harrys, you have your Chuck Palombos, you have Sherlock Holmes. So I love that concept. I'm actually kind of surprised, though, that we haven't had like a CSI joke, because holy crap, I mean, there have been a lot of moments where they could have done it and they didn't. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm continuing to move through it. I believe last time I checked it, I was about halfway through the game. So we'll see if I continue to enjoy the story mode in there, and if I can actually fit it in between sessions of Xenoblade Chronicles. So that's Lego City. The other game that I've been able to play has been I've been able to get a little bit further into Mass Effect 3. And there's a lot to go over there. Holy crap. I haven't played a tremendous amount, but I actually have both good things to say about it, and I also have some bad things to say about it. Let's see, where can I begin? First of all, I rescued the Turian Primarch so that he can help me with getting allies in this Reaper War. And in turn, I also got Garrus back, and oh, I love Garrus. Garrus is so great. Garrus, there's a bromance there. And I also love the fact that some of the conversations that you can have at the beginning have been improved. They actually feel more fluid, where you're actually walking around the ship instead of just staying in one particular place and having dialogue trees. Because Garrus is one of those characters that you can't really do dialogue trees with and have it feel real. But I like what they've done so far with it. Another thing that also happened is, in my playthrough, Edie has a new body. I'll admit, I didn't see that coming. It's very reminiscent of what's the one I'm looking for? Very reminiscent of anime. The body almost seems very Jetsons-esque, so it's kind of giggle-worthy to me. I also love the fact that where Joker didn't like her, now he loves her. He's actually hitting on her and stuff like that, and I love the fact that Edie's coming up and going, you know, originally he didn't like me. I don't get what's going on. And then you have to explain it to her. And she's like, do I need to rebuff his advances? Dude, it's up to you. It's up to you on whether or not you want to do that. And then I also did a little submission where I got some Reaper artifacts from Cerberus. I'm sure the Elusive Man appreciated that. Totally, right? I'm sure he has no problem with it. Martin Sheen's not going to go chase me halfway across the universe. Not at all. I also do like the the additional exploring and gathering resources mechanic in this game, where 2, it actually gets kind of tedious and boring. This one, you actually have to be careful, because if you stay too long in an area, Reapers will detect you, and then at that point you'll have a firefight on your hands. And I like that idea, because it's basically you gathering resources from the shadows to fight off this Reaper invasion, and it makes sense. Let's see. Anything else that happened? Oh, also, another thing that people actually got on my case about, saying that I would get my question answered. I was waiting for them to show, you know, one of the big beefs I had with Mass Effect 3 the last time I played it was they completely ignored the whole prospect of Liara being the Shadow Broker. I was like, well, how can you ignore that? That's a great concept, and why don't I have access to the Shadow Broker's ship? And they actually do answer it, because it turns out she brought a lot of those assets to the Normandy. And that actually makes a little bit more sense. So she can stick close to the front lines and help out with the fight against the Reapers. But she can also be the Shadow Broker and help garner resources for us. And there's even a little Wheatley kind of character that I believe was in the Mass Effect 2 DLC for Lara the Shadow Broker. So I like that little addition that they kept that consistency there. It was a nice touch, BioWare. But I like the fact that they actually answered that question. So now she's like holed up in what was Miranda's office in the second game, and it's got all of her Shadow Broker gear. That's great to me. That answers a lot of questions. And it's actually fairly accurate, since Liara wanted to help Shepard by being the Shadow Broker. So I like that concept. I also like that her friend Ferris eventually just becomes the Shadow Broker's assistant. So we actually have like an intelligence gatherer out there helping out with the whole Shadow Broker business, and maybe the Shadow Broker storyline will yield fruit to help us get allies for the Reapers. I like that. So right now, I wish I had a complaint for Mass Effect 3, guys, but I really don't at the moment. I'm sure I will later. I just don't at the moment. And I know a lot of people are just going to be screaming at, oh, wait till you get to the ending. Wait till you get to the ending. Yeah, we'll see if I don't like the ending. I'm not going to get the DLC ending. So we actually have a unique boss fight here. This is yet another summoned creature. This is Carbuncle. Carbuncle has come back in later games, but as you'll notice, he looks kind of feral. He looks very ferocious. He doesn't so in later games. They redesigned the character to be more like a Pokemon. I can't think of a better way to describe it other than that. It was redesigned to look more cutesy, more like Mew. Like a cutesy Pokemon. And part of that is, I think, because of its ability. This is an attack summon. This is like Golem, where it's a support summon. And instead of casting an improved defense on the party, this one gives Reflect on all the party. This is basically like if you're going to go and get Bahamut, you would need Carbuncle, because this would be an instant Reflect on everybody. So this is partially why I'm going and getting Carbuncle now. Well, that, and I can't get it later. So, I don't know why. Oh, that's right. So there actually also is an added mechanic to this one, is that you can actually use Shoat on him to kill him. So, I am trying to do that. This might actually work. And boom! I got Carbuncle. And I got some job level ups. You can't really deny that. So now I have an instant reflect on every single party member. I will admit, Carbuncle, at least for me, doesn't get used that much just because of the instant reflect. I tend to be one of those guys that tends to forget that reflect is on, and then I cure a person with reflect and in turn heal the boss. It happens. But now that we have Carbuncle, we can now advance further into XDeaths' stronghold and confront him. Because it's not like we don't have an additional motivation to do that with Galuf's death and all that fun stuff. But that's okay, because this basically put us back out here, except now we don't have to go through the whole dog and pony show of trying to get Carbuncle. And this is the point where you can tell that Drak was actually looking at the map, because he didn't know where he was going. And can I just say once again how gross this map looks when you give it a good second, third look on the matter. It's just gross. The walls are breathing, and even when you're in battle. This was a nice little touch for Squaresoft at the time. I don't want to say Square Enix, because it's not Square Enix. Uh-oh. Oh, that didn't work out. Yes, it did. Okay, we've got some extra gold pieces to work with. And back down into the acid. I hate these kinds of tiles. And in the earlier games, they love doing them. Hi, Yellow Dragon. But yeah, that's all my game updates, actually, because, I mean, I'm going to rant about Battlefront in another video, and I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles yet. I'm trying to think, is there any other game I played? No, not really. Mainly because when you get older, you really want to sleep more so you can get colds and stuff like that out of your system. I will tell you another thing that I've been updated on that I have an update on is since I've been resting a lot of the time, I've been catching up on a lot of TV shows that I've loved. First of all, I watched the Netflix Daredevil. I'd only watched up to 3 episodes up until this weekend, and I finally finished it. And it's really good. It's violent as all hell, and well, by violent I mean it's gory to the point of ew. Excuse me. Again, I don't mean to cough in you guys' ears. I like it. I like the cast for Daredevil. I think Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk is so much an improvement over Michael Clarke Duncan, and I love Michael Clarke Duncan. But this is the Wilson Fisk that I remember from comics and from other TV series. So I think it's a welcome addition. I also love the character they got to play, or the guy they got to play Matt Murdock. I think he's done an awesome job with that character. Just blows my mind how great he's been. And as much as I was frustrated with the matter, I didn't like the original Daredevil outfit, but it kind of grew on me over the series. But I'm so glad that in Season 2 and at the end of Season 1, we got an official, formal Daredevil-looking armor. I'm also excited to get into some of the other Netflix series after this. This did a really good job of trying to tell a story. And it feels like a Daredevil story. And sometimes Daredevil stories are dark. So I love that whole concept. And I'm trying to think of, is there anything else I can add to Daredevil? Not really. Just I recommend, if you have a Netflix account, go see it if you haven't already. you'll get your money's worth out of it. And I just opened up an empty chest. That's not cool. Why did the developers think that was a good idea to put an empty chest in my way? Actually, believe it or not, there's a plot reason for it, but I'm not going to get into it. Because we actually are coming up on the 25-minute mark, so I am going to need to end this for the week. Well, for last week. But when I get back, we are going to finish up XDeaths Castle. We're actually in the upper levels of it. So we'll finish that up, and we'll get into even further into the story in Final Fantasy V.